Serious times down in Johannesburg. Watch the fire now. Listen. The horns. Oh, yeah. The stage was set, the lights were low for the big G20 show. Leaders coming from across the sea to talk about the world economy. Johannesburg was dressed to impress, ready to clean up the global mess. But before the first gavel could sound, a different kind of noise started going around. Now everybody talking about Cyril's big blunder. He lighting the match while we standing under. You think you're smart with that devious smile, but you're burning down the bridge for mile after mile. Oh, Cyril's big blunder, what a heavy price when you're playing politics and rolling the dice. The party is cancelled, the guests wouldn't come. Now we dancing alone to the beat of the drum. The ANC politicians step up to the mic, spewing out words that nobody like. They open their mouths and the fire jump out, insulting America, scream and shout. They're telling tall tales, they're telling the lies, right there under the African skies. And the media catch it, they run with the ball, they amplify the noise until the whole thing fall off. Talking about Cyril's big blunder, he lighting the match while we standing under. You think you're smart with that devious smile, but you're burning down the bridge for mile after mile. Oh, Cyril's big blunder, what a heavy price when you're playing politics and rolling the dice. The party is cancelled, the guests wouldn't come. Now we dancing alone to the beat of the drum. Yeah. Watch the house of cards, they're tumbling over. Yeah, blow it down, what a mess. I look at the president sitting up high, I see that little twinkle in his eye. He cracking that smile, that devious grin, while the diplomatic ice is getting very thin. You think the eagle gonna take that heat? Nah, sir, they won't take a seat. No Uncle Sam at your Josie party. You chase them away, you're acting too hearty. It's Cyril's big blunder, he lighting the match while we standing under. You think you're smart with that devious smile, but you're burning down the bridge for mile after mile. Oh, Cyril's big blunder, what a heavy price when you're playing politics and rolling the dice. The party is cancelled, the guests wouldn't come. Now we dancing alone to the beat of the drum. Yeah, yeah, they stay away America now come to Johannesburg today. You set the house on fire, man, what kind of plan? Cyril, wipe that smile off your face. It's a disgrace. No, sir. No, sir.
Setting up shop on a Cape Town street. The ANC had a favorite line: if things go wrong, it's a Yan-made design. From the Goonie trek to the winner's parade, every single debt was a price Yan paid. Oh, the history books are getting a rest. We found a new guy to put to the test. Put away the portrait, stole the old quill. There's a brand new villain for the political bill. We traded in the Yan card for a trump card. It's a shiny new way to play the blame game hard. Is the power going out? Is the road full of holes? Don't look at the trump card today. See you later. Hello, done. You're the hater. It's all his fault now. Every single bit of it. Check the card, baby.
Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Whoa, folks, sometimes it just gets to be a bit much there. I almost forgot to have an interview with Ref G tomorrow. I hadn't set that up yet. I just asked another Ref G who reached out to me about doing an interview, and I just said, how about tomorrow? And I realized I've got a different one tomorrow, so I had to ask them to switch it to Monday. So we may have Ref G interviews tomorrow and Monday. So there you go. And suddenly, you all are the shiny toys. Media outlets in South Africa are suddenly paying attention around the world. They want to interview the refugees. And of course, none of them have contacts with the refugee because people smartly have not trusted the media. I understand why. But many refugees have come to me. And so there you go. What's this? Hang on a second. Hang on a second here. Well, someone's, I didn't want to do refugee. That's not what this is about, but this mess is important. So, yeah. What's going on in chat? People are chatting over here. Let's see what's going on. Welcome back to the program, folks. It is Saturday, January 24th, 2025. In a little over an hour, I'll be on Rugby Ascendant. The Stormers hosting the Sharks at DHL Greenpoint Stadium in the mother city of Cape Town. Go Stormers. I have the little tiny flag to wave for the Sharks and my two big flags for the Stormers, so you can imagine who I'm supporting. Welcome, Luva, Colonel Wyatt fan. What else? From the Meadow, what is also heard we're back in the dark ages. Is the power out in South Africa? Yeah. Nice storm. Hope the power holds. Discussing him, this is pissed in the grave of our opposer for what he's done. So yeah, he's you know, if anyone goes after Julius Malema, it's not going to be some white person. It's going to be some black person. That's what will take him out. It's he really is pissing people off left and right. Well, there's vandalism, but there's also 2 towers have collapsed, and so power is going to be out for an extended period in part of South Africa. So I'll cover that during the news today. Hey, Chris Haylers, what's going on? All right, so why is Amanda telling Hendo and Mad Max remember the rest of this stream? What's something happened to Hendo? What's going on here? What happened to Hendo and Mad Max? Did I miss something? All right. Hey, Verisacquare, what's going on? Main pylon's curious. Yeah, it was rusted to crap. It hasn't been maintained. Yep, that's why the pylon collapsed. Thank you, Will. So that's exactly right. The pylon collapsed. We're going to talk about that in the news. Just, you know, more infrastructure collapsing because the ANC are a bunch of thieves. Yep. Funny how these things didn't happen during the National Party rule in the country. Yep. 45 degrees in the shade, and it's killing me. Oh, well, that's South Africa. It's 10 degrees Fahrenheit here, well below 0 Celsius. We were somewhere today for part of our process. Ran a couple that was there for the same reason. Turns out they have not yet heard. Are you serious? Are you serious? How the hell is that even possible? At this point, how is it even possible? See the shadow banning and the bigger part here is the neglect. See, if there were real media in South Africa, they would be interviewing me about the program. They would be asking me questions about refugees. They'd be asking me questions about immigration, refugee, and asylum in America. But they're not real media in South Africa. They just copy things from social media and report lies given to them by the disinformation minister in the South African government. Yeah, so that's why people don't know about it. But thank you, Platinum Bear. Yeah, you guys should talk about my program when you go for interviews because people probably don't know about it. Yeah, like yesterday, Mad Max is like, Carly, you should make a playlist for interviews. I'm like, dude, you're one of my moderators. I got 25 interviews on there. There is a playlist. South African refugee playlist. It's pinned at the top of this video here. So in the chat. Yeah, I got one, guys. ANC's now calling left-wing USA to join them in a fight in South Africa against the USA due to Venezuela issues. Time for... Well, I have to see that, Lionel Volemans, and I would like to find that where that story's at and where that social media content is at, because then that makes South Africa's ANC a diametric enemy to the United States, just free and clear, and will likely get them in trouble if they're trying to interfere in U.S. domestic politics. Okay, what else we got here? Almost, what's this? Jumped ahead. Almost missed the broadcast. I hardly slept last night. I was watching broadcast in UK, worried about my cousin Saudi. Oh, okay. Didn't know they suspended flights. Joe watched your earlier video. Well, thank you for that, Joe. It's true. Also for people to watch the channel. Probably there's people out there that don't know the refugee program. Yeah, no, I know that that's the case, but people who know about the refugee program don't know about me. That's the thing that shocks me. It's 21 here, where we are, -7 for the others that don't know. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm less than half that, so please hit the like button. Stormers will definitely win today. Don't want to upset the curling further. Hey, Fonz. That's coming from a Sharks fan. Hey, Shawnee, what's going on? How's Minnesota? You getting any snow yet? You guys are kind of slightly out of the path, I think. SABC News. What do we got here, Max? Mad Max is at it. What has he got? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, that's part of my news story. I'll just add that to the news story, Max, if you don't mind. Yeah, that's part of the title for the stream, so we'll actually play that video. Yeah, this is the ANC trying to invent enemies. This is their typical. This is their Bourmag moment. Oh, the right wing, evil right wing. What right wing? There's no white supremacy. There's no white ring. It doesn't exist. Show it to us. They can't. They just fabricate things and they lie about people who are innocent who've done nothing wrong. The Bourmag was disassembled. There were more state agents inside the Bourmag than there were Bourmag members, and that was 20 years ago. These people, what right wing? What right wing? There is no right wing to speak of. Nothing of any substance whatsoever. You've got 7,000 people dancing like lunatics, screaming, kill the Boer, kill the white people, carrying white heads on pikes in East London. There's your real threat. You got an insurrection in KZ in July 2021, which nearly overthrew the government. There's your real threat. And that wasn't white people. That wasn't Indians. That wasn't coloreds. Take a look around in the mirror there, ANC. Yep. No power, no water, everything's on fire. Yeah, the media only likes sensation, that's for sure. Had snow on Wednesday. Today's temperature is -10, so we're warming up. There's been a few, -10, amber alerts. Okay. Throwing ice chunks and breaking windows. Yeah, those people are criminals. They need arrested. Hey, Christy, I hadn't seen you a bit. Mentioned you in my interview. She wanted to know, where did I hear about the program? Where did I get the information from? Cool. Well, thank you for sharing that, Christy. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. You mentioned me and they asked where. That's fine. That's the extent of it. Last night we talked about this. Some U.S. CIS agents are asking ridiculous questions like, have I paid the refugees? Paid them for what? Paid them for what? I mean, for what? Are these U.S. CIS agents listening to, idiots who get, one-page op-eds on News 24 and slander people? Is that what they're listening to? I mean, I'm easily available. I receive a retirement check from the U.S. Army every month. Every month. They know where I'm at. They can find me. I'm registered with the medical clinic at Carlisle Barracks. They know where I'm at. I get alerts on my phone every time there's a shutdown or something at the barracks because I'm still employed tangentially with the U.S. government through subcontracting. So I'm not hard to find. If USCIS wants to know something about me, ask. Don't harass refugees. Don't harass them. Coaching, no. Paying people, no. It's ridiculous. Giving people money, no. No. Not happening. Not happening. Stupid people. See, this is why, guys, I cannot, and I have refused to run campaigns to raise money for people. I don't start a Back a Buddy or a GoFundMe to raise money because lion sacks a horseman or would make false allegations that, well, you're taking the money. I already got people lying and saying that I'm taking money for refugees. I don't take any money for refugees. I've given out $1 million consulting advice for free over the past year of my time. $1 million easily. It's 900-some thousand. So we'll round it up to $1 million. Didn't ask for a penny. And these lion sacks of shit run around because they have penis envy. They're such sad, pathetic losers. But thank you for sharing that, Christy. I appreciate it. Yeah, how do people not know how to apply for the program? Well, you got to let them know. See, if there were real media in South Africa, 702 East Coast Radio would have asked me to come on. Rapport, instead of asking for access to refugees, would have interviewed me long ago. But they don't want to talk about this. They just want access to refugees. They don't want to talk about the story. They don't want to understand the story. They still want to use quotations for refugees. They still want to talk about farmers and Afrikaners and white genocide and all the BS that's being published by themselves because it's their narrative. They're deep in it. Every one of them. None of them want to be honest. The only media outlet in South Africa that's ever asked to interview me was CakeNet. That's it. That's it. Yet they entertain convicted prostitutes. They have no credibility whatsoever. Conrad will only give me an interview if I support the Bulls for a year. Well, what's the weather like where you're at, Conrad? Is hell freezing over yet? Let me know. Yeah, there'll be a false flag. They'll arrest about 20 innocent white South Africans and claim that they're trying to overthrow the government. You watch. Watch. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, now I'm coaching you. I'm your sugar daddy. Oh, these people are just ridiculous. Dingbat doorknobs, one and all. Yep. What exactly do you think you'll benefit from paying a refugee? Stupid question. Exactly. Exactly. Why would I give money to refugees? What's that going to do? Let's ask a question. How do I profit from giving money to refugees? In fact, it's quite the opposite of the hate wankers are saying I'm making money off refugees. Which is it? I'm either giving money to refugees or I'm making money off refugees. Well, which is it? Which is it? They're opposites. If I give my money away or if I take money from people, they're opposites. How am I doing both? Chris, stop getting down. It's not a waste of time. Thousands of people are coming over. You're in the queue. Okay. Yeah, our USCS interview said, who do you know in America except Colonel Wyatt? Yeah, because they know you're not going to come put your FEMA tent on my lawn. I'm not sponsoring any of you. I haven't sponsored a single South African to come to America. I haven't started an NGO. A lot of people when this thing started said, hey, Colonel Wyatt, you should start an NGO. No, because then I'll be accused of trying to make money, even if it's not for profit. Oh yeah, but look at that. He's making this much money. No. Even if I did like President Trump and gave my services to an NGO and worked 40 hours a week for free, I'd still be accused of fraud by fraudulent people. So, it's no point in even trying that stuff. Ingrid said, those who are running around falsely saying take refugees money are absolute miscreants that knows Fanny all about you. Yep. Someone must come with me. There you go. Devette says, I'm still young and been married a few times. I don't know how you do it. Hell, it pains me. This is a sin and never thought it would play out like this. Obviously, just some sort of elaborate money laundering scheme, not a reputable news program. Yeah, exactly, Sven. If you're indeed giving money to refugees, could I take payment in form of your lawn? You want payment in kind. Pat wants payment in kind. I don't do payment in kind. Mom got her Facebook, TikTok driving me crazy last week. Okay. United, BA, KLM suspend their flights around Israel and some surrounding countries. Thank you, Karen. Okay, 444 to stream. Half of them hit the like button. Yeah, that's a good start. All right, so hey, Ian, what's going on? And Wills. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get to the news here. The ANC is got it up their backside again. This is why you can't take this party seriously. Let's listen. Let's read the article first, then we'll listen to the video. Can't do payment kind. Need to get the hip sort exactly. Our sugar viceroy with a heart of gold and a compass. That's always true. Oh my goodness, I'm not a sugar daddy. Definitely not. I'm too cheap to be a sugar daddy. Too frugal. All right, let's get to the news. Here we go. The ANC must act against right-wing threats, Ramaphosa. So the leader of the ANC, the man who can't string any coherent development plan. By the way, what was the unemployment rate when Ramaphosa became president 8 years ago? What was GDP growth? Who has the lowest annualized GDP growth as president of South African post-apartheid South Africa? Who? Cyril Ramaphosa. Unemployment is higher than it was when he took over. Poverty is greater than when he took over. Racial division barely existed when he took over. Now it's rampant. Yes. And the ANC's gone from 60% to 40% under the great exalted leadership of the President of South Africa. President Ramaphosa urged ANC and government to act against rising right-wing imperialism globally and domestically. That's a strike at the United States. We acknowledge that 2026 will be a challenging year where in our country and the world will be confronted by both challenges and opportunities. The forces of right-wing imperialism, both globally and domestically, are seemingly on the offensive. We need to ensure that our movement and our government take appropriate action to protect our nation and its people. Wow. Really?
The forces of right-wing imperialism, both globally and domestically, are seemingly on the offensive, and we need to ensure that our movement and our government take appropriate action to protect our nation and its people. At the same time, we must remain laser-focused on addressing the immediate socio-economic concerns of the people of South Africa. Now, intensifying this focus and moving with greater urgency to build on recent improvements, we must still work to address the triple challenge that our country has been facing since 1994, which is poverty, unemployment, and inequality.
Now, the challenge that the ANC, the South Africa's been facing since 1994 is the ANC, the ANC, and the ANC. There's your triple challenge right there. The ANC, the ANC, and the ANC. You had your opportunity to fix the country. You chose to steal from it, divide it racially, and pilfer the country. And that's who you are. That's in your DNA. That's what you're all about. As Michaela Wrong once wrote about corruption in Kenya in a book entitled, It's Our Turn to Eat. Yep. It is a declaration of active persecution against white people. Exactly right. It's a dog whistle to attack white people. Exactly. So, if anything, all you freaking out over the refugee program for Indians, coloreds, and whites, relax. Trump will probably pick up the pace. This is a clear attempt to get people to harm white people. It's a dog whistle. Sentencing of Malema is delayed till April. Why is that? Look, it's the 15% crowd. They don't even rate 30%. While a detailed report presenting the pre-sentencing EFF leader Joseph Malema has laid out the punishment that can be meted against him, including option of fine, state is gunning for him to spend time behind bars. Don't hold your breath. April 15th, that's tax day in America. We're going to remember that. Will that be the day that he goes to jail? I doubt it. He'll appeal it. It'll be delayed. He won't go to jail. Take a break from all this. Wednesday's travel to Bloemfontein, Mykonos. Wow, Mike, cool. I hope you got somebody keeping track of your restaurant. Yeah, they've run out of excuses behind. So now they're going to invent the Boermag and the AWV behind every single fence line. Yep, ANC Boogeyman. That's a song later on. I'll make that tonight. ANC's Boogeyman. I think that must have been Anna who just published something there. Oh, it's because she put all caps. Yeah, Anna, your message got deleted because you put all caps down. It wasn't because you did something wrong, but don't use all caps. Come on, you guys should know that by now. So she said she was in trouble, and I intervened to help the family. No money was involved. The car broke down. Yeah, we mobilized the Wyatt Army. Who else is doing that? Who's doing that? Who else rose to help Anna that night except the Wyatt Army? My viewers, because we became aware of it when I was live. We talked about it. We marshaled forces. Someone went there, picked her and her family up, gave them accommodation, took them early in the morning to their interviews, and made sure their car got out of there. And by the way, that petrol station was robbed later that day after they got their car out of there. Yep. Who else is doing that? Yorande deploy. I have no idea what you're talking about. What new shooting from ICE? There's nothing in the news about a shooting unless it just happened since I went live. There was no news story about a shooting by ICE. No. Yeah, Jan has been. I told you, Jan's off the hook. We're trading in the Jan card for a Trump card. Okay, well, Dimples just said the same thing. Second ICE shooting involved. Well, I don't know. What's the truth? You're asking me the truth about something that came up while I was broadcasting? Come on, guys. I appreciate the confidence in me. Let me just go see if I can find it. We'll interrupt the news for that. ICE shooting. Okay, let's see what comes up. Third shooting in Minneapolis involving federal agents, 24 minutes ago. I've been live for 30 minutes, so this happened while I was live. All right, it says ICE agent involved in another shooting. City of Minneapolis shared an update saying it's aware of reports of another shooting involving federal law enforcement, 26th Street West and Nicollet Avenue. Multiple law enforcement sources tell me there's just been a border patrol involved shooting in Minneapolis. The suspect was armed with a gun, which was recovered by federal agents. So here's the firearm that they say that he had. There you go. Spoke with the White House after another horrific shooting by federal agents. This is sickening. President must end this operation. Pull the thousands. I'm sorry. So people running around attacking ICE with firearms like this, and they're the ones who are horrific? No. Sorry. Not buying it there, Tampon Timmy. Not buying it. James said, I've never seen minorities help each other as much as they have since the start of the White Army. Well, I don't know if it's a start, but certainly recently. Okay, Sally, but I don't think we're going to do the Back of Buddy. We got a better solution. People can send bank, because Back of Buddy, that involves funds. So, Sally, send me an email, and we'll consider it still. I appreciate that. But I want people to become a target. You know, these evil people make people targets. So, hang on a second. Where the heck is... Oh, I'm going to wait for my... Oh, my gosh. The solid state drive is supposed to be instantaneous. This is what we're doing instead. If you can help out... Food Socks, which has been giving money to people who are in desperate straits here, who got their flights canceled. This is what you do. Eden Community Hope Outreach, nonprofit organization, through a Standard Bank, their George branch. There's the account number 10131297943. If you need a Section 18A paperwork, you can just write the email for it once you make a donation. So there you go, folks. That's what you need to do. That's if you have a bank account, you can send money directly to them that way. Make a membership there. All right? Please consider that. You can do a screen capture of that, people, right now. Thank you, Sal. So there you go. That's for Food Socks. We're trying to raise some of the funds. Food Socks is already out 15,000 Rand for delivering that food for free for people I've asked them help with. So it becomes a burden at some point. So I'm trying to prevent that from being the case. Anyway, all right. Mara greeted me earlier. Well, Mara, I wasn't saying hi to everybody. Sorry, I missed that. This isn't Night Owls. Trying to get to the news. Pet Lift. I don't know snippets. I'll have to reach out to them. I'll do that right now. I don't think this is the correct number. No, that's the wrong one. Hang on a second here. Trying to take care of multiple people at once and entertain my audience. We do. Hang on a second, folks. Sorry. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm trying to reach Morgan, but I've got different numbers for her. So notification was on, but never got one. That happens a lot, Jennifer. You get a gift membership by YouTube randomly selecting people when you're on the live stream. If you're watching a program and someone buys a gift membership, they don't get to pick who gets it. It's just awarded by YouTube automatically. And there's no rhyme or reason how they do it. I think computer just picks people that are in the chat or watching the stream. So I'm not sure how it works. Anyway, all right. If it picks people, oftentimes don't even comment. Many of the people aren't even commenting. Yesterday, especially, at 150 memberships gifted. Any developments in the government shutdown? Yeah, it looks like it's not going to happen, most likely. Okay, so why am I not hearing those things? Anyway, so interesting. All right, let's get on to the news. Back to the news where we were. Whoa, there it is. Now I'm hearing it. That's loud. Okay. All right, so EFF. Now, these people should be charged with a crime. These people have endangered public safety by dancing and toy-toying on a flight. There's the mailman. He's just arrived. These people are toy-toying on a flight. This is dangerous. Every one of these people should be barred from travel on South African Airlines. This is ridiculous. I saw the video when it happened. Now, at least IOL has reported on the story. Mid-air ruckus on East London flight as EFF chants an aisle. A bunch of idiotic morons. Every one of these idiots should be barred from ever flying again. A Fly South Air flight turned rowdy midair after passengers of what appeared to be EFF regalia began chanting in the aisle, dancing up and down on a plane mid-flight. It's being addressed in accordance with our procedures in civil aviation, says Kirby Gordon. Well, I'm not satisfied with that. Stupid people should wear signs. These are criminals, and they need to be arrested. Every one of them needs to be arrested. They're just brainless twits. Brainless twits. It is against airline safety regulations to behave in that fashion. These people have endangered public safety on a flight, just like Nobbs and Kesey. Did Nobbs and Kesey have to get training, racial sensitivity training? Has Nobbs and Kesey had to pay a fine? Have they tried to, what has the equality court said about Nobbs and Kesey? Did she even get an equality court case? Or did she get a slap on the hand from the South African Captured Human Rights Commission that's gone very quiet since their fraud has been exposed time and time again? The South African Black Supremacy Commission, also known as the Human Rights Commission. Yes, where are they at? Where is the punishment on Nobbs and Kesey? We saw what they did for Nota Bloy, a joke. They wrote his apology for him, and he laughed about it when he read it. Yet they dramatically went after Ronaldo Khuz for something he never did. That second worker who was trapped when that trench collapsed at Victoria and Alfred Waterfront has been rescued. There's one of two that were trapped when the trench collapsed at the construction site. He was rescued, retrieved, taken to hospital for treatment, injuries that he sustained. Well, that's good news. MTN shares are falling. Good news. Not really for an MTN shareholder. The CEO dismissed for failing to comply with the government's order to shut down in Iran. Their ties to the Iranian terror funder, Irancell, are causing problems for MTN. MTN shares suffered their biggest fall in 5 months. About 4% of news that CEO of the company's subsidiary in Iran, MTN Irancell, has been ousted. Yep, that's right. When you lie down with dogs, you pick up fleas, ANC. Mkhitaryan Jonas, are you still the chairman? What about your buddy Cyril Ramaphosa? 5 anti-terrorism lawsuits against MTN, Cyril Ramaphosa, and Mkhitaryan Jonas, currently in U.S. courts. Right wing. How about terror supporters, Cyril? That's a bigger threat. 2-week blackout looms as power line towers collapse, so they're rusted and not taken care of in Nelson Mandela Bay. 2 collapsed 132 kilovolt power lines have left parts of Nelson Mandela Bay without electricity. disrupted water supply, some reservoirs running dry at risk of doing so. The Nelson Mandela Bay business chapter is blaming aging infrastructure, vandalism, and poor maintenance for the situation. Oh, it's the same old story. It's the same old ANC again and again and again. Again and again and again. The Business Chamber of Commerce spokesperson Sibongile Dimbaza, of course, naturally, Sibongile Dimbaza must be a right-wing white racist, obviously. Sibongile Dimbaza, obviously a right-wing white Afrikaner racist, said it's highly concerning that large parts of Nelson Mandela Bay have been without power and some instances water since yesterday. So I understand this is due to the combination of vandalism, lack of infrastructure maintenance, and strong winds caused by collapse of 2 major power lines. Well, there they are, those right-wing white guys in South Africa already complaining about the wondrous efforts that the ANC has brought to uplift the people of South Africa, to lift them out of poverty, to make life better, to get rid of systemic racism, to get rid of white supremacy. Well, I guess it's failing because the towers collapsed. And you know what? Do you know what it was? Those towers were sabotaged by right-wing extremists. That's what it was. It was international right-wingism that came in and collapsed those 2 towers in Nelson Mandela Bay. There you go, folks. There's your scoop. There's your news. Nelson Mandela Bay. Towers collapsed by right-wing racists. Oh, Jan van Riebeck is at it again, folks. In the U.S., you will be arrested. They would turn the plane around. Exactly. Put your permanent no-fly list. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a criminal act. Tolerating this is why South Africa is not a real country. Well, Nelson Mandela Bay memorabilia will go on auction. Well, a family member is getting rich off Mandela Bay. Colonel Wyatt's making money for refugees. But his daughter can sell Mandela's memorabilia to get rich. South African court Friday dismissed an appeal by the country's heritage body to prevent the sale and export of memorabilia belonging to anti-apartheid leader Nelson Mandela. No, President Nelson Mandela. Can you get it straight? What the hell is that? The items are in the hands of his eldest daughter, Makweze Mandela, and Christo Brandt, a warden who worked at Island when he was incarcerated. The collection includes a Mandela coin from the U.S. Mint, gifts from former presidents, including a blanket from Obama, champagne cooler from Clinton, and a pen from Bush. His fist sculpted in bronze. Anyway, so, yeah. It's scheduled in New York. They scheduled in New York for 2024, but it got criticism. The AG argued the items are protected under the National Heritage Resources Act, a law designed to identify managed places and objects. But now, Mr. Mandela is going to get rich off of a daddy's memorabilia. Oh, but Colonel Wyatt's making money off refugees. But that's more important to talk about than selling the heritage of South Africa. China, Russia, India, Brazil, Russia, China, India. Yeah, there you go. BRIC. Whoops, what happened to the S? Whoops, South Africa's not invited. Trump has his board of peace. He invites all the BRICS nations except South Africa. Trump's Davos Peace Board. It's not a Davos Peace Board. He brought it up months ago. Every BRICS nation was invited except South Africa. Oh, no room at the end for the ANC. South Africa emerged as the only BRICS country that was not asked to join Donald Trump's newly formed Board of Peace. Please, sir, more soup. Can we have some just energy transition? How about some more foreign aid we can steal? Please, sir. Please. Please, please. Residents downstream from the Sentico Dam refused to evacuate. When they get washed away, they're not going to get much empathy. Residents downstream from the Sentico Dam have been ordered to evacuate immediately due to the risk of imminent structural failure. Yet another South Africa infrastructure project that's failing because the ANC doesn't maintain anything. Some residents are reluctant to leave their homes, fearing zama-zamas and safety of their properties. Flood damage in Mpumalanga has exceeded 3.5 billion rand and 20 fatalities. Well, people don't want to leave. The dam is owned by the Shamile Communal Property Association. It's for irrigation, suffered severe and irreversible damage to its spillway structure. Failure of the dam is imminent and may occur without further warning. An uncontrolled release of water poses immediate and serious threat to downstream communities. So get the hell out of its way. This is an opinion piece in Business Day. And it's actually listed as opinion. Well done, Business Day. Rogue military will torpedo investment. Chief economist Lisette Eisel de Skepper says it's imperative the president acts quickly to address investors' concerns over his ability to control the armed forces. Cyril Ramaphosa has no control over the army. The SANDF is a rogue operation, as we've seen by going to Iran. Thank you, Sally. In spite of a recent uptick in business confidence, visitors won't commit to South Africa. There's uncertainty about the president's ability to control the military. It's certainly a risk that investors do not think they'd have to worry about going into 2026. The president's got a very short window now to address this. If not addressed properly, if heads don't roll, there's no clarity on this front. We'll see how quickly signs of investor confidence in the fourth quarter can evaporate. This is over Iranian participation in Wheel for Peace, which is over now, but hey, still causing problems. We heard initially that Peter Steph du Toit had sustained some sort of injury in Japan, playing Japan, but now it looks like it's quite serious. Not good news. Sidelined by unspecified injury as Japanese club deregisters him. That's bad. Springbok captain Peter Steph du Toit has become a fitness concern after his club Toyota for Blitz deregistered him for the rest of the Japanese League One season. He'd been ruled out with unspecified injury, which required him to return to South Africa for surgery. Wow. Club is hoping du Toit will have a speedy recovery, but the fact that he's been deregistered even though there are 11 rounds remaining speaks to the severity of the injury. Wow. Surgery for an injury in South Africa result. His league is deregistered him. Well, that's bad news. Bad news for the Bucks. Don't care so much about Toyota for Blitz, but I do care about the Bucks. Bad news. Mali's government is moving to impose fuel rationing as al-Qaeda-linked attacks cut off supplies. This is what happens when a military overthrows a government and doesn't know how to run a government and doesn't know how to run a military. So they screw up everything. Mali's government has moved to impose fuel rationing to counter widespread shortages caused by an al-Qaeda-linked group operating in the border regions that recent months have cut off fuel supplies. In announcing the rationing on Thursday, officials did not say when it would start. And it's an effort to reduce long lines as Ramadan is just a few weeks away. And Russia's Africa Corps has been escorting fuel supplies. Russian troops escorting fuel supplies in Mali. Well, the purge continues in China's military. The top Chinese officer now sacked. China removes top 2 military officials and close allies of Xi Jinping. Announcement indicates an intensive power struggle within the highest level Chinese regime. Liu Zhenli and Vice Chairman Shang Zhoukuo. Chinese authorities have announced investigation into the country's most senior officials, accusing them of serious violations of discipline and law. Officials' names were Zhang Zhuji, a member of the Chinese Communist Party's Politburo and Vice Chairman of the Central Military Commission, and Liu Zhenli, a member of the CMC who serves as Chief of the Joint Staff. Defense Ministry said they're suspected of serious violations of discipline and law. Authorities decided to file a case for review and investigation of both of them. Well, they're going to disappear down a hole somewhere. That's China's preferred method to get rid of challengers to the regime. Suicide bomber targets a wedding ceremony in Pakistan, killing 7 and wounding 25. Muslims killing Muslims. Yes, it's a peaceful religion. Suicide bomber detonated explosive device among guests at a wedding ceremony. The attack took place at the home of Noor Alam Mused, a pro-government community leader. Witnesses said guests were attending ceremony with some dancing to the beat of drums when the bomber struck. No group has claimed responsibility, but suspicion is falling on the Pakistani Taliban. Religion of peace, which is a shame because most Muslims are good people. Russia is jailing a U.S. Navy veteran who was doing a round-the-world sail, and they have another apprehension of American to trade as a hostage. Charles Wayne Zimmerman, been fulfilling his dream to sail around the world, appears to be the latest American in prison as part of Russia's hostage diplomacy. He's been in a penal colony for 7 months already, having committed no offense. An American adventurer set off from North Carolina, New Zealand 18 months ago, ended up in prison in Russia, sentenced to 5 years after being convicted of arms smuggling because of a rifle and a pistol and ammunition he kept on board his sailboat. Charles Wayne Zimmerman had headed toward Russia in hopes of meeting a young woman he had encountered on Instagram who went by the handle Evil Elia. What a dumbass. Should never have gone there. She lives near Sochi. That's nowhere near the ocean. Appears to be the latest American Russian authorities have grabbed and pursued what's called hostage diplomacy. Well, that's... Dude, Don't go for the freaking honey traps. Russian shadow fleet tanker diverted to French port by naval forces. Now France is stopping the Russians. French prosecutors say the Russia-linked tanker Grinch under investigation after interception in Western Mediterranean. The French Navy is diverting oil tankers suspected of being part of Russia's sanctions-busting shadow fleet. The Office of Prosecutor in Marseille, which handles matters related to maritime law, investigated a case on Friday that the ship had been diverted, but not specify where to. Probably Marseille. The Grinch was flying under a Comoros flag, left the Russian Arctic port of Murmansk in early January, suspected of operating under a false flag, belonging to the secret fleet of ships. Yep. Not a surprise. Well, President Trump says Vance will travel to Azerbaijan and Armenia to advance the peace deal between those two that Trump previously worked on. The Vice President's February visit comes after an August agreement to put an end to decades of conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh. Trip is meant to improve U.S. ties in the region through deals on nuclear cooperation, semiconductors, defense equipment. Yep. Trump says this is a nasty war, one of 8 that I've ended, but now we have prosperity and peace. In February, Vice President Vance will travel to both countries to build on our peace efforts and advance the Trump route for international peace and prosperity. TRIP. Trip. Trump route for international peace and prosperity. Trip. Sochi is where they had the Olympics, Winter Olympics. Denmark's prime minister made an unannounced trip to Greenland. Wow, they suddenly care about Greenland, neglecting it for centuries. Suddenly they care. Trip by Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, who is irrelevant, whose party can't even hold on to Copenhagen, lost it for the first time in a century, came amid pressure from Trump and appeared to have been meant as reassurance to Greenlanders. The colonial empire of Denmark, the Kingdom of Denmark, sends its overlord to Greenland. And look, mostly white faces. I see 1 Inuit, 2 Inuit faces in the entire crowd. Of course, that must be the security detail walking around the Prime Minister of Greenland. Denmark, sorry. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen of Denmark arrived in Greenland on Friday for an unannounced visit as the crisis over Greenland's future and alarm over American designs on it seemed to ease but not end. I'm first and foremost in Greenland today to show Denmark's strong support of the Greenlandic people. It's been a very difficult time. Anyone can see that. What's difficult? You've been called on the carpet for failure to protect NATO's northern flank. What's difficult? Do your job and you wouldn't have had this problem. Trump warned you the first term, you ignored it. Despite Trump's words, China and Russia are not threatening Greenland, the New York Times breathlessly reports. U.S. and European officials say they're unaware of intelligence that shows China and Russia are engaging the island. Over 3 months of summer, scientific research vessel crossed Pacific, traversing 5,400 miles, a first for China. The crew discovered that melting ice meant the ship could travel through the remote region without great difficulty, the expedition leader told reporters. While China has talked about expanding trade and access, it's developed only a small footprint over the years. And even as China and Russia compete with the U.S. in many parts of the world, they do not present a threat to American interests in or near Greenland, say experts on these two superpowers and current former U.S. officials, including intelligence analysts. Those findings contrast sharply with assertions by President Trump, has repeatedly cited security as the reason he wants to acquire Greenland. So, the New York Times cobbles together John Culver, a former intelligence analyst on China who briefed Trump in his first term. If this was based on any actual facts, it would be leaked. Merit anything that shows China's military designs on Greenland. Senator Mark Warner, a Democrat. Yes. Well, here's the thing. Mr. John Culver, former intelligence analyst. Former intelligence analyst for who? I'm an intelligence analyst. And I'm here to tell you that China and Russia do have designs in the Arctic. Absolutely. The fact that they haven't established bases is because the territory belongs to Canada, Denmark, and Norway. That won't stop them establishing bases at some point. Seriously? So do we wait till the house is on fire before we take preventive action? What a dumbass news article. What an idiotic leftist propaganda article. China and Russia have no designs on Greenland. Really? They have designs on the Arctic. Greenland is on the approaches to the Arctic. It's strategic landmass. It interdicts the Arctic Sea. Do we wait till the house is on fire before we take action? What a dumbass publication. How can you take the New York Times seriously? This is all propaganda. Well, Donald Trump says if Canada makes a deal with China, 100% tariffs. Woo! It's getting hot up in here. Look at little boy Carney there. President Trump said Canadian goods export U.S. will be hit with 100% tariffs if Canada makes a deal with China. If Governor Carney, That's not helpful, Donald. Now, see, I'll criticize the president. That's not helpful. If Governor Carney thinks he's going to make Canada a drop-off port for China to send goods and products to the U.S., he's sorely mistaken. China will eat Canada alive. Completely devour it, including the destruction of their business, social fabric, and general way of life. If Canada makes a deal with China, it will immediately hit with 100% tariff against all Canadian goods and products coming to us. Thank you for your attention. Well, here's the thing. China already owns Canada. 6 of the 10 largest banks a decade ago in Canada were owned by Chinese. The Chinese own 6 of the 10 largest banks in Canada. I used to have shares in a Canadian banking corporation. No longer. China controlled a decade ago. I know the current status, I have to look it up, but China controlled 6 of the 10 largest banks in Canada were owned by Chinese entities, either in Hong Kong or mainland China. They already own Vancouver. It's known as Hongkouver. Over 40% of the population is ethnic Chinese in Hongkouver. Yeah. So China will eat them for lunch. Absolutely eat them for lunch. They're already eating them for lunch. Thank you, United of Justice, for upgrading your membership. So here's what he actually said. Here's his tweet. If Governor Carney thinks he's going to make Canada a drop-off port. The Trumpster. Right, it's an effort by China to slip in the back door, the U.S. economy. Well, that storm is here, folks. You see, Minnesota is pretty much avoided in the upper Midwest. But look at that. Much of the country is going to be buried in snow, including Pennsylvania right in the middle of the path. According to this, we'll get 2 feet of snow here. Wow. I mean, the snow extends from Arizona to Montana and all the way across the country. The only state that is not at all in this, that has no snow, is Florida. Every other state from Arizona eastwards will be hit by some snow. Very little in Minnesota in the upper quadrant, but still snow. Every single state. That is a massive storm, folks. That is a massive storm. That was a prediction as of 1 p.m. yesterday. Now we've got updates. Let's wait and see what they are here. Okay. Several inches of snow have fallen in Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, and parts of Texas Panhandle. In Dallas, freezing rain and sleet fell overnight, coating roads with a thin layer of ice. And in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, 8 to 12 inches, 45% chance, 12 to 18, so a foot and a half, 37. So it's a 70, 82% chance of some significant snowfall. Wow. Let's look at the snowfall map from the National Weather Service. There you go. There's where the snow's at now. The storm is making its way. Snowfall. You can see the actual dots tell you how much. 3 inches already fallen in this place in Oklahoma. Veneta. Warren, Oklahoma got 4 inches. And Anson, Texas got 4 inches. 10 inches in Orwell, New York, but that's up in the Catskills. That happens up in the mountains. Minnesota, up here, 3 inches in the very extreme north. A little bit of snow falling over here in Billings, Montana, but virtually nothing, just snowflakes. So that's the National Weather Service snow map. Thank you, Casper, for upgrading your membership. Wow, what's going on with memberships? Is Minri here? Hey, Minri. Minri is going to come on the program as a guest. Minri, if you see my latest email, I asked you to come on tomorrow, but I apologize. I already had an interview. Maybe Monday. So I don't know if she responded to that. Minri, welcome to you. Loved your video. Yep. I don't know what apps groups. I don't pay attention to WhatsApp groups. At least 17 states have declared an emergency over this weather, folks. It's crystal clear outside. There's no snow in my yard. The sun's out, but it is cold. At least 17 states declare emergencies ahead of the storm. Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia. Wow. And the District of Columbia have declared it. 182 million people were under watches or warnings, and more than 210 million people have cold weather advisories. My goodness. That's something else. Get ready for the big freeze. But, you know, I don't get too excited by this. 18 to 22 inches. Man, the blizzard is 78, man. We had freaking 30-foot snow drifts. 30-foot. 6-meter snow drifts. I don't get too excited. I don't get too excited. I have a fireplace, Shirley. I never use it. I have a fireplace in my house, yeah. I don't think I've ever fired it up. I wonder if it even works. Yeah, I have a fireplace. Well, the March for Life protesters, always in January, always cold. Yep. They're demanding abortion pill restrictions from the Trump administration. Well, the left will lose its mind. Here they are, thousands of pro-life activists marching in the Supreme Court for the 53rd Annual National March for Life. Took place yesterday. Thousands of activists endured chilly temperatures to participate in the March for Life on Friday, demanding stronger abortion pill restrictions. Wow. This is a battle that must be fought, must be won, not only in the corridors of power, but above all in the hearts and souls of the people, the president told the cheering crowd. Participants in the annual protests expressed concern that telehealth prescriptions of abortion pills have undermined state-level restrictions in recent years. I want abortion completely banned, says Luke Rini, a 17-year-old who attended his third march with a group of 30 students from Ville de Marie, a Catholic school in Scottsdale, Arizona. I want the pill removed from all stores. Wow. Wow. The left will be melting down over this. The left will be melting down over this. If you type in all caps, your text will be deleted by my moderators. That is rude on the internet. Whether you intended it or not, it is seen as rude. Please do not use all caps. All right? Yes, Shawnee, we talked about that. And he had a firearm. I already showed the firearm on air. The FAA denied a request to reduce flight arrivals at Reagan Airport months before that collision between a Black Hawk helicopter from an unqualified DEI pilot, according to the FAA, not according to me. Air traffic controllers concerned about safety were denied a request to decrease the number of arriving aircraft at Reagan National Airport months before the deadly mid-air collision between an Army helicopter and an American Airlines passenger jet. Federal Aviation Administration officials sat on the May 9, 2023 request from air traffic controllers in Warrenton, Virginia. The air traffic controllers who work for the Potomac Consolidated Terminal Radar Approach Control in Warrenton sought to decrease the number of hourly commercial aircraft arrivals into Reagan, which operates the nation's busiest runway and is the main airport used by congressional lawmakers. They cited a number of safety factors, requesting including inability to meter arriving traffic to maintain the required 4 miles of spacing between them, which results in difficulty managing traffic flow. Their request sought to cut arrivals from 36 to 32 per hour. An FAA official who now retired is serving as FAA's Washington District General Manager resisted forwarding the request up the chain of command. So they never received the formal written answer to their request. So the Virginia air traffic controllers during the Biden crooked criminal regime in May of 2023 asked for a slowdown in the number of flights, and the FAA, under the crooked, corrupt, dangerous Biden regime under Pete Buttigieg, refused to consider reducing the number of flights to take the pressure off the airfield and off the air traffic controllers. And 160 plus people died. The Biden criminal regime is criminally negligent for this activity, not just the Army pilot who caused the accident. Thousands of Minnesotans are, whoops, that's not Minnesotans. That's a Greenlander. That's not a Minnesotan. Thousands of Minnesotans protesting ice in sub-zero temperatures. 100 clergy arrested during demonstration airport. Well, obviously they're not real clergy. Thousands took to the streets in sub-zero temperatures Friday to protest the Trump administration's immigration crackdown in Minnesota. Demonstrators wore snow boots and ski goggles, passed around hand warmers, and carried signs taped to hockey sticks. Ice out Minnesota ice, but F ice during a 2-hour march through downtown Minneapolis. Insurrectionist. The Trump administration needs to get control of Minneapolis. It is a city in revolt against the authority of the United States and the Supremacy Clause. These people are welcome to protest, but they need to keep their distance and do it in lawful spaces. Dr. Oz has flagged potential fraud at former Minnesota factory housing 400 Medicaid businesses. The business collectively billed an estimated $380 million to Medicaid. Dr. Mehmet Oz, administrator of the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services, said that a building in Minnesota, which used to be a linen factory, is housing 400 Medicaid billing businesses. Behind me is the Griggs Midway building. It looks like a factory because it was a factory. Roughly 400 Medicaid businesses were started in the building behind me over the last several years. They've collectively billed an estimated $380 million to Medicaid, sparking fraud concerns. You can't imagine getting extra business support. An autistic child probably wouldn't want to come here. You hear the noise? It's not just a hospitable place. The question is, how is it possible for 400 businesses billing almost $400 million to be able to thrive here? And the state authorities, including Tampon Timmy, the Stolen Valor Waltz, and Small Fry Jacob, are responsible for allowing this corruption to occur. Jean Kotza, thank you for the 100 Rand Super Chat. Not been many of those today. And do we really have to have a law for this? I served 36 years in the Army, and this is something that never once crossed my mind that you could do this. And if it did cross my mind, I certainly wouldn't have done it. It's morally reprehensible. But apparently in the Defense Appropriations Bill, we had to include a clause. Listen to this. You're going to find this fascinating. The defense bill bars the Pentagon from paying for adult entertainment. Seriously? We had to have a law for that? The Defense Appropriations Bill that cleared House Senate conference this week will ban Pentagon military and civilian officials from using government credit cards to pay for nude entertainment at topless bars. What? Who the hell allows that? The Fiscal 2026 Defense Appropriations Act states that none of the funds made available under the Act can be used for government travel card charge expenses for gaming or for entertainment that includes topless or nude entertainment for participants. When was that ever allowed? That was never allowed when I was in the Army. Did the Democrats allow this? Did the Biden regime allow people to use their government travel card to pay for strippers? I mean, that was a UCMJ offense when I was in the Army. What the hell? What the hell is that? It doesn't make any sense. Well, now with the passing of famed American actor and icon Robert Redford, those who take over Sundance have decided to move it from safe, peaceful, fun-loving, conservative, respectful Americans in Utah, from Park City, to purple Colorado, where the leftists are in ascendancy. Merlot, thank you for the 140 Rand super sticker. Thank you for that. Yes. The venerable Utah Film Festival will leave its long-standing hometown for Boulder, Colorado, marking a melancholy but necessary end of an era. Why is it necessary? Sundance was bank-robbing outlaw, then a charismatic 60s movie anti-hero, then a resort, then a lab for tyro filmmakers, and finally a film festival that redefined what film festivals could be. Eventually, with its fleets of black SUVs and platoons of celebrities and dealmakers, it became too large for its hometown of Park City, Utah. This year's Jamboree, which began on Thursday and continues to February 1st, will be the festival's last in the Mountain Redoubt, for which all its snowy charms of the Rocky Mountains framing the city lacked the hotels and infrastructure for a major international conclave. Think you used enough dynamite there, Butch? He said. Next year, Sundance heads to Boulder, which organizers believe will be much more affordable and manageable, especially for the young dreamers whom the festival is meant to nurture and celebrate. So with the death of Robert Redford, now they're moving Sundance to Colorado. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Fascinating. I haven't seen Merlot's super chat come up on the screen. So there you have it, folks. There's the news for today, the 24th of January, 2026, on a Saturday. I actually got a video out today because there's only one rugby game to watch. We've got 578 current viewers, 403 likes, and a little bit of super chat revenue that's come in. Thank you for that. And Sundance owned by, I don't know who owns it. Larry Ellison is a Zionist? News to me. How is he a Zionist? He's an American. Lives in California. Owns Oracle. Some of the other boars, we agree, sir. It must please either grow beard full or shave clean. What are you talking about? My beard is more majestic than 90% of people on this planet. Grow the beard full. The beard is full. What the hell are you talking about, Tibet? What the hell are you talking about? And when my beard was down to my navel, I just got stopped all the time because people thought I was homeless. You're welcome, Desert Roses. My pleasure. All right. So there you have it, folks. That's the news for today. At the end of at the bottom of the hour, we have the Stormers. If you want to go to that, I'd appreciate people come and watch it as we do live play-by-play and color commentary. Oh, this, come on, YouTube. Oh, this platform sometimes can be very frustrating. Oh, gee, many crickets. You're welcome. Okay, there we go. Sometimes you just hung up when you're trying to do things. So I've got to put this on here. I didn't have time to do this earlier. All right, so if you want, you'll be redirected to the Stormers game from here. That's your prerogative. Hopefully people show up over there. Used to love reading Edison Cowboy as a teenager, okay? Any news the man shot by ICE? Can't see it. No, there's no news. Well, I don't know he was even shot. I don't know that he was shot. They said there was a shooting. Yeah, when I had long beard, ZZ Top. Francois Ferrer, thank you for upgrading your membership. Master and Commander. Woo, baby. That's awesome. Debbie Ackerman, thank you. I'm proud to be in your team. Well, thank you for being part of the Wyatt Army. Thank you very much. By the way, for those who are new to the program, might think that that's just arrogant or presumptuous to me to call it the Wyatt Army. No, I'm not the one who called it the Wyatt Army. The Wyatt Army was named by the Brew, South African. Thank you, Debbie, for the super chat. Ulster. Damn it, my Subaru is going sideways. You're welcome on the move. USA Mindian, 140 Rand super chat. Thank you for that. Well, what happened with my Subaru? Let's take a look at that very quickly. Ugh, It's not going well. I did make the right change yesterday. I had a feeling just before the game. I changed my pick for these Bulls game over Edinburgh. I had Edinburgh by 9 during the week, and then last minute, just before the game started, like some 5 minutes before the game started, I switched to the Bulls by 5, and they won by 2. I got that one right, but that's about the extent of what's been going right. It's going ugly. So 3 games today. I got them all wrong. I picked Exeter by 7, and Bristol won by 3. Bristol. Every time I pick Bristol to win, they lose. Every time I pick against them, they win. Bastards. Ulster, same thing. And Newcastle. All 3 of those teams let me down. So I should just automatically. Saracens killed them, 73-12. All 3, I've lost 3 in a row. I won 3 in a row yesterday. I've lost 3 in a row today. I got Harlequins losing to Leicester. I'm going to win that one. But yeah, Wrexham. Who cares about Wrexham? Maybe Ryan Reynolds, but I don't care about Wrexham. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, mine's being wrecked today. El Marie, yeah, let me look and see how what's going on there real quick with the Backa Buddy. Let's see if Christopher's made it yet. Come on. Not there. Still need 15,000. That Backa Buddy, anybody wants to back a buddy and help with her nephew, here you go. If anybody can. Let's take a look and see how it's going. Slow down a little bit there. So 202,000 out of 217 needed to pay for this surgery. Okay, I'm in the wrong place there. Hang on. There we go. Yep. So it looks like it's all folks from the Wyatt Army going over recently and doing it. Yep. Yep. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 donations. So we're pumping it up here. Thank you guys for that. Whoa, somebody from Wyatt Army gave 5,000 and $10. Yeah, I think that was Fonz. Yeah, so yeah, look at that, folks. 202,000. We still need 15,000 to get them to their goal. Almost 16,000. Nearly 100 donors so far. It was 82 donors when I started, trying to get people to do it. If you want to help, it's your prerogative what you want to do there. Subaru. Who said Subaru? I didn't say Subaru, did I? Did I say Subaru? When did I say Subaru? Yeah, well, people say they're good. I don't have driven one. Hotel room for my fire crew. The only ones available worth 100 miles was the casino. The front office teased me for years, and guys are paying for trips. Yeah, no, I got you. Carol Ann, 70. Question, what happens on snow days? Do you lose wages? No. It depends on your employer. Usually you don't lose wages on a snow day. Government employees never lose wages. You just get the day off. Military doesn't lose wages. You get the day off. Garrett says hello. Wants me to say hello to guys. Hello. Subarus. What's going on with the kitchen here? That's a strange word for kitchen. Kombuis. Kombuis. I never understood that. Mit die Fraumense. With the ladies. No, the Sharks haven't won. They're playing the Stormers here in 17 minutes. No, I haven't seen the polls. I'm not paying attention to them. We are 9 months out, 10 months out from the elections, or 9 months out. So there's a lot can happen between now and then. The economy is growing, and by the end of summer, if more jobs are added, and the economy continues to grow, that this nonsense will be forgotten about. 73% of Americans who are polled are happy with what Trump is doing, arresting the criminals and deporting them. 73%. So I don't buy the polls either way. Either way, we're very welcome for the news. Okay, so how are we doing here? All right. So I don't get do the news very often on Saturday because of all the rugby, but today just one game because the Stormers and Sharks playing. That cuts down the game. And then the Bulls played yesterday. And the Bulls played the same time as the Lions, so I couldn't cover the Lions game. Lions choked away a victory. That sucked. Yeah, I'll try to enjoy the Stormers game, but that depends if the Stormers win and we get no injuries. Peter Steph Toy injury is concerning to me. Toyota for Blitz has deregistered him as a player, which means he's done for the season. It's not a good thing. But that doesn't mean he couldn't sign with a South African team if he recovers, but I don't think he's going to recover that quickly. So I don't know what the injury is, but it's very concerning. Pre-show photos and clips, says Loretta. Ooh, are you there already? Okay, may I show them? I don't want to save all, I just want to save this one.
With a bottle of vodka still out in my head. Some blonde gave me nightmares.
Looks like you got some good seats there. May I show them, Loretta? Well, I assume I can. So, Loretta is at the Steve Hofmeyer concert in Wellington. She mentioned Thursday night that because I did the song about Steve Hofmeyer that I wrote for Steve, and she said that it's her kind of like on her bucket list. She'd love to see Steve. She's never seen him. I said, really? That can be arranged. So, I went ahead and looked to find out where it was, and I found out the concert's near Wellington, which is not too far. She's in near Malmesbury. So we went ahead and bought her tickets, and it looks like the tickets worked. She got in. So I asked her to send pictures. She sent pictures. Well done, Loretta. Let me show people what we got here. So let's get this up here. This is cool. There's an ad for Monty Jackson there. Is Monty Jackson at the concert? There you go. There's an ad for Monty Jackson on the screen. See that? Looks like you're getting early birds. Looks like citrus trees in the background there. Loretta must be pretty chuffed to be at this concert. Let's open up the next one, see what that was.
With a bottle of vodka still out in my head. Some blonde gave me nightmares. I think that she's still in my bed. As I dream about movies they won't make.
There you go. Wow. Why so few people? Because it's hours before the damn thing happens. What do you mean, why so few people? You can see about 4 feet. Monty Jackson's a wonderful guy. He's a friend of mine. Yep. Probably had this question, but are you planning to watch? Yeah, no. I've already pre-registered for tickets for South Africa and for Baltimore. Yep, so Loretta is at the Steve Hofmeyer concert. What I haven't heard back from Steve is if he could greet her. I don't think it's going to happen. So my apologies for that, Loretta. I tried to make it happen. No, he hasn't. I don't know if he heard my voicemail. So, no, he's probably busy now. So, Garrett, she just sent me pictures. I just showed them. Okay. All right, folks, we got to wrap it here. Puppycock t-shirts. That's good. And Martine. Oh, Marty. No, dear. Okay. A poll. No, there's no time for poll. I got to wrap up. Okay. Got to wrap up here, guys. It's time to wrap up the stream. Thank you all so much for your membership, for your viewership, for participating, for watching, super chats, for sharing your experiences. Really appreciate it. I see that Minri is here earlier. We're going to have her on for an interview soon. So, all right, that's going to do it from here. Don't forget, there'll be a RefG interview tomorrow. And we've got going from here to the Stormers. So join me for the Stormers taking on the Sharks from DHL Greenpoint Stadium in the mother city of Cape Town. Hopefully the Stormers can go to 9-0 and put some space between themselves and the pack behind them. They have teams just 2 points behind them, but they played 10 games. The Stormers only played 8. So let's see how they can do. 5 points today would be fantastic. A bonus point victory is what I'm shooting for. All righty, there you go. That's going to do it, folks. Cheers. Thanks for being here.